That's what you're here for. And then we're going to look at you and we want you to produce just like the first guy, So, but Angry Black Man makes it, a valid point. We don't know how that game would have turned out if Scarborough had stayed in the game. Could have been different, but it wasn't. It was a classic. I enjoyed it, very much. I honestly think Alabama's going to be back in the championship again this time, but not against Clemson. I got a feeling that they will probably make up for, or not make up, they'll probably win this time against Clemson, and they'll see Georgia in the championship game down here in the ATL. So that's my pick that I'm throwing out there for the national championship. We'll see if I'm right, on it. Shouts out to Mocha Bella, who has jumped into the Wait a Minute Show chat room. Mocha Bella, I just want to say something to Mocha Bella. I don't know if she heard this on last Wednesday. I was on the Doug Stewart Show, which we are on the Two Live Stews Radio Network, and I just wanted to apologize. And if you did not hear before, Mocha, I will apologize again. I am sorry for putting that evil on your Miami Dolphins. I started at the beginning of the year and said that the Dolphins would go 11-5. And no. Let me go back. I said they would go 11-5. Book it. It didn't quite turn out that way, So I'm sorry, Mocha Bella. I shouldn't have put that on your team. I shouldn't have put that pressure on them. But here, let me give up what had happened was and where I should get a little bit of a, leeway out of this thing. Few things. I couldn't plan for a hurricane to come through Miami. That changed the whole makeup. That team had other responsibilities that they had to be worried about other than football game. Also the schedule. It changed. The NFL, and I had a problem with this, the NFL changed their schedule and gave them their bye week that first week. And this team has been playing for this week will make it 16 weeks straight without a break. That's not healthy. That can't help the team. I didn't know Ryan Tannehill was going to go down, Didn't know they were going to trade Jay Ajayi. Even though Kenyon Drake stepped in, and had some success, took it up second. But I'm sorry. I apologize, Mocha. I will never book it again with the Miami Dolphins. That's my word. So, we're going to move on another, this is tough to talk about, but I got to talk about it. It is what it is. Another moment in sports that we will remember in February. Yeah. February. So, little thing that, kind of a few people watch. It's not that big of a deal. The Super Bowl. And the Atlanta Falcons were playing the New England Patriots. So, we all know how that thing ended. And we will never forget that. I will never forget that. I remember that day like it was nothing else. I think I want to say that I had the Falcons win in 28-21, on that. Yeah, they got 28, they got a little bit more than 28, but, the Falcons got to a humongous lead, we all know, and they got up 28-3 in the third quarter, and I sat there in my house, and unfortunately, I had got sick over that weekend because I really wanted to go to a Super Bowl party, but I wasn't feeling too great, so I sat at home and I watched that, and I was feeling better. I was feeling good a little bit, but in the back of my mind, I was saying, you have to remember who this is on the other side. They are not just going to lay down. They are not just going to quit, and I felt the Falcons when they were up 28-3. I said they definitely need another touchdown. But if they can get 3 points, this thing might be over. And unfortunately, it didn't go down like that. Brady and them came back, and the Falcons just ran out of gas. I think the defense got tired because the offense didn't help them out at times coming off the field. But it is what it is. You have to give the Patriots credit. They're down 28-3. They did not quit. And the Falcons choked this away, but the Patriots took it. They saw the opening, and they stuck their hand in there and grabbed the Falcons by their throat and took this Super Bowl from them. There was a lot of questions, as far as like play calling, who fault it was and everything. Everybody, shares the blame, in this whole thing, but there's not one more than the other that I'm going to put on. I'm not going to say, it's the coach's fault more, because a lot of people say, you don't call this play. You should. Yeah, you're right. But that's 8-10 seconds out of 60 minutes, in a game. So there's other, choices that you could have made, other things that could have went, different way. And they had the Patriots exactly where they wanted them. So 28-3, we'll never forget it. People keep reminding Falcon fans such as me about it. I've let it go. I think the Falcons have let it go, but it will go down in history because it gave Tom Brady his 5th ring. People will say he cheated. People will say, Shanahan's playbook coming up missing. That was just crazy, and all this stuff. All this stuff will be, out there. But at the end of the day, it happened. So there's nothing else that you can do, about it. So Falcons blowing the Super Bowl is another memory in 2017 that we won't forget anytime soon. Now we're going to fast forward to the present, and we'll go back, in history and time again here in just a moment. But this past weekend, the Minnesota Vikings played the Green Bay Packers, and they basically shut down the Packers and shut them out. So that's not the big thing. But the big thing really is this quarterback situation, because Case Keenum, who had been doing very well for the team, is kind of slipping a little bit. It looked like he might be falling off just a tad. Now, Teddy Bridgewater is on the roster. He made a cameo appearance. I don't think he's really ready, like they would need. But there's talk that Sam Bradford might be back. And so it begs the question, here on the Wait a Minute Show with your host, Jelani J.B. Bodie, a.k.a. Fantasy Football Champion. Should the Vikings go back to Sam Bradford if he's healthy? And I've been on the fence about this, and I've been going back and forth as far as like which side I would be on. But I keep going back to where you are. Where are you currently? And what I mean by that is, one, your record, right? So the Minnesota Vikings are 12-3 right now. Sam Bradford got hurt a long time ago. So Case Keenum has been involved in a lot of those wins and very few of the losses. They only lost 3 games. The other thing is, what's the trade-off? What's the benefit if you go back to Sam Bradford? How fast is the turnaround? Because the one thing that you got to think about, timing routes, play calling, what's being seen on the field as far as like reading the defense, being on the same page. If you see something, is that other person going to see it? And your team responding to maybe a different voice in the huddle, even though it's someone that was in there to begin with. So having said all that, I think I'm going to stay with Case Keenum at this point. I'm going to ride with Case Keenum, and I'm going to look at it as if we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. So we all know Sam Bradford is the better quarterback. But Case Keenum is the healthier quarterback. He's had his moments where he has shined, and he had his moments where he has not shined. But Sam Bradford has as well. And you're this late into the season. Playoffs are about to start. They got a bye, going in. They may have home field throughout, but you at least got a bye. You can game plan. And you got to give the guy that's been there the opportunity. This is not, who can I say? This is not if Brian Hoyer was in there and now Tom Brady has made his way back. No, this is not Brett Hundley getting them to the playoffs and then Aaron Rodgers is ready to go now. No, this is Sam Bradford, who always shows promise. He has all the tools that people want in a quarterback. His main thing is health. And you gotten this far with Case Keenum. Defenses played very, very well. You got to watch out for him. Harrison Smith, safety for the Vikings, just became a defensive player of the week. Had 2 interceptions. So you lean on this defense. The running game, they lost Dalvin Cook in the running game. Still is pretty good with Latavius Murray and Jerick McKinnon. You gotta give the kid a chance. You gotta give Case Keenum the opportunity. I think he's earned it at this point. And also, if you go with Sam Bradford and he blows in the playoff game and you're one and done, everyone is going to second guess the coaches. I think a lot of people, if they're going to be one and done, I think they would rather lose with Case Keenum and be like, look, it just wasn't our day. We had a good year. We should have won or whatever, and start questioning that. But I don't think anyone's going to say we should have had Sam Bradford in the game. But if Sam Bradford is in the game and they lose, oh my God, that's going to be crazy. So I'm on the side with Case Keenum. I'm gonna roll with Case Keenum, and whatever happens. If I'm the Minnesota Vikings, we gotten to this point. Let's just keep it going, and let's see what happens. At that. None of these quarterbacks are under contract at the end of the year, so it's not like you're trying to keep one versus the other. I mean, at this point, they all want the position, so they're not gonna want to go anywhere. So you're gonna have your pick, of the 3, and figure out what you want to do at that point as well. So we're going to move on. And again, you listen to the Wait a Minute show with your host, Jelani JB Bodie, a.k.a. Fantasy Football Champion. And we are talking about the review of sports of 2017, which has been very interesting. We've already talked about Alabama and Clemson and the Falcons blowing the Super Bowl. But we're going to get into some more topics. But before we do that, we're going to take a little quick break. And then we'll come back and get into, dare I say, the man with the plan? What am I talking about? We'll discuss it when we come back.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I am Vince Wright, the sports governor, and you know me from the Sports Done Right show. But when I'm not doing Sports Done Right, I'm in the executive mansion chilling with the Wait a Minute show. That's right, Jelani Lopan. Indeed. Keep it tuned here, y'all. The Wait a Minute show. My name is Vince Wright, and I approve this message.
Hey, what's up, sports fans? You're looking for a different type of sports talk show, something you haven't heard before? You gotta check out the BS3 Sports Show every other Saturday on 2 Live Stews Radio, 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern. Sports talk at its finest. Always have great guests, playing some good hip-hop. You don't want to miss it. Make sure to tune in to the BS3 Sports Show every other Saturday at 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern.
Don't be a crook who steals. Buy what you need at DougieDeals.com.
Yo, this is your boy Keith C from the
Kicking It With Keith C show.
When I want to jam, I'm jamming with Queen Josie and DJ New as they're kicking those vibes.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to your man Jelani JB Bodie, host of this thing.